Well, hello. 'Tis us again, a place pitches, and I am Avraham Ben Yehuda. That is my name, and there is a guy that's joining me that's sitting right here, and he's going to introduce his name. Could you tell them your name, sir?
Quite. Dylan Harron Sewell.
Dylan Harron Sewell. He's an interesting fella, that old Aaron Sewell. You know, he told me about his family one day, and I said, how did you come up with the name Aaron Sewell? And he said, it's none of your bloody business.
It's none of your bloody business.
That's
my own business.
I was so afraid. But since I have healed since then, hello, everybody.
Whoa. Wait a second.
I got out of it, man. It was getting weird. I got out of it.
Yeah. Mine always switches different British
Yeah,
location.
You mean like you made fun of me? So funny story, you guys. Years ago, there was a podcast we did. Our very, 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 very first podcast we ever did, and I was doing an accent like that. And like the entire time you hear Dylan laughing in the background because he used to say that me trying to do an English accent was terrible. So he's back there. I'm like doing it the whole time, and he's going. And then at one point he goes, you know, it switches from like English to Ireland.
I do that.
I mean
too.
Irish. So now that you say you do that, that makes it even funnier. It's like
I like doing different British areas.
Really?
Yeah.
I never hear you do them.
Oh, I do them in my car all the time.
Oh, you're by yourself, huh?
Yeah.
I do them a lot too. So me and my brother Joshua with that same him and Shemuel, we like back in the day whenever we would hang out, we would like just talk in a different accent for like hours. I remember one of my favorite moments hanging out with my friend Joshua is he's making a keto cheesecake.
Yeah.
And the entire time he's doing a Middle Eastern accent.
Oh, yeah.
For no reason at all. It was hilarious. Then again, I mean, when you know him, that's him. It was fun. Joshua, if you are watching this, you are hilarious, sir.
Yeah, I like doing voices and stuff. I've always enjoyed doing. There's different voices I can do, different celebrities or characters or stuff. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It actually is. I actually was trying to be a voiceover person for a while because, like, I got like 3 jobs out of nowhere where I was like a voiceover person. Yeah.
That's cool.
My buddy Ronald had his job he had at the time. They needed somebody to come and do voiceover for like this, I don't know, some army commander or something. And I did that. And then also somebody I had to do in a 48-hour film project, I had to do a voiceover on something. I can't remember what that was. But I remember, wow, I was thinking, I could do this. I could do this as a job. This looks fun, you know.
I would really like to do it as a job. I never tried to do that, but that would be great. That would be so fun to do, because you see like there's like a lot of anime dubs that happen, and I mean that would be amazing to do like something long term where it's like, hey, come in and record your voice and I don't know. We should try doing that. Going in and
remember I did that. Okay, y'all. So at one point we did one of the films that you probably see on our channel is just says Love Is. And then there's another one that says Love Is Sue. And at one point we were trying to produce a film called Love Is, and it was going to explore these different aspects of love. So what we did is we were like, hey, let's shoot teasers to see if we could pitch it to people. And we pitched it to people, and Nobody funded it. Anyway, wow, I just thought about that. We shot teasers then. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been doing teasers for a long time.
Yeah. But so on one, we had a voiceover, and I did it, and it was hilarious because I was getting very emotional talking about what love really is.
It was good, though. Yeah, I think it fit. Because it owes me an explanation.
That's what I said.
Felt very loaded.
Man, where is that footage? Where's that video? Like, where is that? Because that was a trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was on we would have to have it somewhere.
Yeah, it's on one of those drives or something. Yeah. But you can go check out the original teaser that was done, that was written and came up with by Dylan Aaron Sewell himself. It was shot by Sean Elder, and it is actually pretty awesome. We still like it as a teaser. It's pretty cool. You should go watch it. It's called Love Is. Yeah, it has the great Richard Romeo in it, who originally came up with the idea for Love Is.
Yeah, so, that was a fun one.
Then after that, man, we got Natasha to do the second one. Mm-hmm. She did that one. And then we added that song, Here Come the Lonely Nights.
That was a Moby track.
Yeah, Moby track. Yeah, because Moby, at one point, Moby was mixing these songs together and giving them away for free to filmmakers who needed them. So, yeah, we just downloaded it and used it in that.
Yeah. That was fun.
Man, I forgot about that. Wow.
A long time ago.
But we did end up still being able to shoot that first episode of Love Is.
We did a pilot of a show.
Yeah.
And that was fun. Unfortunately, we didn't make the whole show, the whole season. But, that was...
Right. Because because we were doing 7 episodes. I forgot about that.
Was it 7?
I think it was 7 or 6. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were basically doing what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Then, but we never got the chance to finish the other one. So, well, I mean, at least we were always on the road, on some kind of track, trying to get something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been pushing stuff for years, trying to get stuff made. It's tough to make films. It's hard, and it takes a lot to actually get something made. That's why anytime if anybody makes anything, whatever quality it is, it's always amazing to me because it's so hard to do any of it. A lot of elements have to come together at the right time, right place, and for it to happen. Yeah, so anytime there's something that's really good, then to me, I do call it miracles because it's just so easy for it not to be good that when it does, it's like, wow, everything came together at the right time, in the right place. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, even on a Hollywood level, it's still, it's still difficult to get stuff done. It's not simple. It's a lot that goes in the process. It's a lot of, what do they call it? A lot of checks and balances. A lot of tinkering here and tinkering there. Of course, I don't think we've ever seen the checks and balances part yet, but but not the check part.
The checks,
unless we paid out. But
it's
Love Is, though, that brings back memories. I didn't know I was going to go down a memory lane with this one. And then we actually met with a few local filmmakers. Well, with a few of local filmmakers to see if they wanted to get on the project. They looked at us like, okay, no.
Not everybody. People were excited to,
who was excited?
Daniel.
Oh,
he was.
Well, yeah, Daniel Ration, of course. Yeah. I think he was the only one, though.
No, well, there was people interested, but we didn't have funding, so I think that's that was like, well, we were asking these people to kind of do this project without funding.
Oh, that's what the couple said. Yeah, that's what that couple said. What were their names again?
Oh, I don't know. Not for the podcast. Oh, we can't. But no, they wanted to do it. They just, it's just, we had to pay them. And so I think we didn't go about it the right way.
Right.
Or in the right order. Because it really is like you need funding first before you offer for somebody to do. I think our thought process or was like, well, we get names attached to this and then we get the funding. And so we already have the roster because it was going to be an anthology series where each episode was its own thing, and then all centered around what love is and the different definitions of what love is. And so we were going to have different directors for each episode, and then so we thought, well, we'll get the names attached, then we'll get the funding for it. But I don't know. Yeah, it's, there's so many projects that like we've had try to get made or this or that, and it can be tricky, and so.
But now we're in the process of producing another web series that we got going on. So you guys,
television series proper.
Yeah, television, essentially a television series
that'll proper, be on the internet.
So don't think that we stopped, because we are going to continue going. And once we have more things set in place, you guys will definitely know about that soon. Also, stay tuned, because I will be releasing my favorite. I'm sorry. Stay tuned, because I will be releasing my latest short film onto our YouTube channel here, which is called A Few Seconds of Violence. If you watched our Oscars episode, it was one of the ones that was nominated for and the Place Pictures Best Picture.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this to come out.
But it didn't win, though. Another film was selected over it. But yeah, so that's going to be releasing on here on YouTube. We will let you guys know the dates when that is happening, and hopefully, it'd be awesome if we can get some of the cast to come and talk about the film and the experience they had, working with me, and how I kind of drove them a little nuts a little bit. But yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it to come out and see what people think. And I'm really proud of it. I think it's great. It came out really well. So I'm excited for it to come out. Yeah. That's the thing with short films. A lot of times people will make short films and not release it because of festivals. And that's I kind of have a problem with that, because it's like a lot of times it's like, just show it, because I don't know, but then there is because certain festivals, if you don't know, you don't get into if it's already online, and so there's that struggle. But I disagree with that ruling from festivals to not allow you to show it. Like, I get why, but it's we live in a different time now where even films will come out simultaneously as theater releases. Now it's kind of changing back, but I used to think, do it that way. But now I'm like, if somebody wants to watch a movie, let them watch it however they want to watch it. If they're going to watch it on their phone, they're going to watch it on their phone. You want people to see it on the big screen and this and that, but it almost doesn't matter these days. A movie's going to work whatever screen you see it on. And so, yeah, and it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. Like recently I found out about a movie that couldn't find anywhere, and the trailer came out, and apparently it was supposed to be online, but it wasn't right, in the country or something wasn't right, or because it was a foreign film. And I was just like, just put it online. Where is this thing? But it's tricky, and you want people to do it up, so it gets momentum and all that. But I don't know. It is weird. The internet has changed things.
So yeah, I remember before when we were, like when we did Breakup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, I was frustrated because this was after we had did Under. Well, actually, this was after we had did Under and The Amazing Levitation of Matthew Renner. And so we were looking on the next thing we wanted to do, and I was frustrated because, of course, me and Dylan have always had film art projects to do, but of course, there's the whole money element. So I wrote something. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to write this so I could just shoot it. Like, so I could just shoot it. And thankfully, I had written it. And Sean, who a good friend of mine who I've worked with on many projects, he was down to shoot it. And so we shot it. We went to Houston. It was just one character the entire time. That was awesome. I wrote something with just one character.
Yeah.
It was just one character the entire time. You do see another character at some point, but primarily it's just one character the entire time. And it was all one location. And it ended up being I think a 7 or 8 minute short film. It's on this channel. You can watch it. It's called Breakup. And but I remember the problem is that we just released it.
Yeah.
We released it and nobody watched it.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's what film festivals try to offer people. They can say, well, at least somebody can watch it, at our film festival, if it gets in, at least you'll have a bunch of eyes out there watching, or a certain number of eyes out there at least watching your film and knowing it exists in comparison to just releasing it on the film. Because I think before recently it was only at we released it in 2012, and I want to say it only had maybe 70 something views.
Oh,
so it was so nobody was watching it. And so I think that's what film festivals could offer. But nowadays, I still agree though. Nowadays, I think festivals are still a good choice, but they're definitely not the only choice, because I think nowadays if you can get advertising from the right kind of YouTube channel, then if you have some, you could get it shown with them. You know what I mean? You can get it shown on their page, or give them, or have their page give you a shout out, or have the link. You know what I mean? And they can say, hey, shout out to this, go watch this, check this video out, and that'll lead traffic to you getting your film seen and everything. So
yeah. Well, you know what? We showed A Few Seconds of Violence at a screening at a festival, and it played at the Alamo Drafthouse. That's where they were doing the screenings. And I will say it had a profound effect on me to see something we did on a screen that good, the sound quality that good. And it was proper. 'Cause we've had screenings before at a pop-up event or stuff where it wasn't strictly a theater.
Yeah.
And I've done that. I played the Matthew Renner Levitation movie.
Yeah, short indies.
But that theater wasn't it was still cool. It was still cool to do, but there's something about that, the quality of that theater, the Alamo Drafthouse, that it was just cool to see something we've done on the big screen. It felt like there was no difference between what we were doing and what feature films do and stuff. And I don't know, there was something that clicked when that happened, that it was a great feeling. It was one of the best feelings to have that shown. So there is something about seeing it in the theater on a big screen, everybody's watching it. That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it has it's rewarding in certain ways.
But that whole thing of you'll hear that a lot with artists about how they, it takes so much effort and work and creativity and all this stuff to be doing anything creative. But then you put it out and then the reaction is never proportional, because in your mind you have this, maybe what you want to see, or maybe or you hope to see is everyone's talking about it and everyone's sharing it or something, and that just hardly ever happens. It mainly doesn't, and it is a weird thing. I think that's an artist thing, that really you care the most about the thing that you're making. And there's so much out there for people's attention. And so it's just always like it's on to the next thing, this thing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Not that they don't care about it or don't like it, but, you know, it really is just part of being an artist is like, look, it's not going to be this, not that it can't be, but yeah, I don't know. It's the reaction isn't going to be. So you have to find satisfaction, I think, in the creating of it. You have to be okay with just being like, you know what? I'm happy that this product was made. This, I say product, but project or whatever. I'm happy that this was done. And you have to have this, you have to be satisfied enough with that. That should be really the thing. It's like, hey, I made something and I'm proud of it, and that's enough. It doesn't need to be recognized in a bigger way. And I think that's just a bonus if it is.
Mm-hmm. That's the cool thing about that is one thing I like about film festivals is that you're getting a chance to watch your film amongst other filmmakers, not just other people that have no, even though they're there, but not just other people that don't know the process or anything, but really having other filmmakers. Because I remember when, that same place when we screened Few Seconds of Violence, I remember talking to the filmmakers afterwards and hearing their critiques and everything. That was like my favorite thing. Yeah. That was my favorite thing about it because I knew they knew what they were talking about. You know what I mean? And when we had to announce, once all the filmmakers got up there, and this is pretty typical for film festivals, we had to announce, which film we did. And once we got there, and I remember, and I go, I'm Avraham, I did Few Seconds of Violence. And I remember one of the other filmmakers goes, oh, whoa, respect.
Yeah, that was a cool.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's a cool moment. I appreciate that. See, I wouldn't have had that outside of some kind of film festival or something like that. That's so that you do have that communal aspect that is rewarding and stuff like that. And actually, honestly, if you can get, even if only 72 people saw like Breakup, my short film, even if only 72 only got 72 views, if I just could have screened that somewhere and it was just, a house, a little bar just full of people, but they were a bunch of filmmakers and they each had, something to say, that would have sufficed. You know what I mean? That would have still been worth it, especially seeing it was an experimental film. But were you gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Because you never screened that outside of the internet, right?
Breakup?
No,
actually, that's what I was gonna say. No, officially never. But one time I was taking a class. This was, when I was in school, I was taking a sociology class, and they were talking about she went into feminism. And the topic of feminism and, the male gaze and stuff like that. And I told her, I go, because she goes, most movies are told from a male's point of view. And then I go, well, I made a film where I attempted to tell it from a female's point of view. And I go, she goes, well, yeah, let's watch it. Let's pull it up right now. And I go, oh, okay. She was cool. Like, she was one of my favorite teachers there. She's like, let's pull it up right now. And, they pulled it up and they watched it. We watched it in class. It was a class of only maybe like 15, 20 people, but still we watched it. And and afterwards she's like, I go, is that like accurate from a female's perspective? My teacher's like, oh yeah. She's like, it's a man trying to do a female's perspective. Yeah. I go, oh, okay. But then this other girl was like, that's accurate to me.
Really? That's funny. Yeah.
So just in case you are wondering, Breakup is a short experimental film about a woman dealing with a breakup and the effect that it has on her ability to communicate in just a few minutes. But
yeah, check it out. It's on your channel. Give it a watch. That's funny. Because that's a whole other thing. But it's always going to be from the perspective of the person that wrote it,
right?
So you can do a really good job at capturing, what it's like from whatever gender. But if it's coming from that gender, then it really, well, that's their perspective.
Right.
You can't really fully. That's why it's important to have all genders, all races making their own thing, because you can't. You can only do so much from each perspective. There's always going to be like, we're not full. Like we don't. You can have a great imagination and or know a perspective, but you have to kind of be that person to tell it properly, I think. But that's why, and I kind of have issue with people like, well, that's from that perspective, and it's, well, yeah, of course it is, because that's who's writing it. I think when we didn't have, and we still have work to do as far as having every person from every walk of life be able to tell their story the way they want to tell it. And with film, you see that a lot, where it's an expensive art form. So there is perspective missing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't have opportunity to do it, and so I'm glad that it's getting cheaper to do. It's easier. Everyone's kind of they have a cell phone, so they can make a movie these days, and then it's getting, there's more people being able to tell their story.
Mm-hmm. Well said, man. Well said.
So now, the film thingy of the weeky. What do we got?
Cheesy name. I love it.
So it's the best.
Today we are going to be talking about movies that seemed like they were going to be really, really, really bad, but then ended up being really, really, really good.
Interesting.
And right now, I cannot think of any.
Neither can I.
But
so that was this week's movie thingy of.
See y'all later.
Yeah, I can't. What do you got one that? Because I know that there's a lot where.
They exist.
They exist. You know what? Actually, okay. Because a lot of it is like, there'll be a movie that I'm like, I don't want to watch like a masterpiece. I'm not in the mood for something profoundly good. I just want to watch something. Mm-hmm. And, or it's a movie that'll be like on Tubi or something that it's like, what's this movie that I heard about like years ago that I was like, had no interest in seeing, but now that it's showing, I'm like, I'm going to watch it, give it a chance. A lot of times I'm surprised that I'm like, oh, this is actually good. This was entertaining or something about, or even, like better than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And a good example would be, I know there's one.
Well, I got an example. So because to me, Netflix, for the most part, makes really bad movies. They make, I feel like they are basically modern day B movies, Netflix. And in that, not saying that there's none of them that I've enjoyed, but just most of them I usually hadn't liked. So when I heard about they cloned Tyrone, that film, when I heard about that film, I was like, okay, John Boyega, and I had never heard of that director at the time. And I go, okay, Jamie Foxx is in it. I'm like, all right, maybe. He seems to take some pretty decent films. So I go, but it's Netflix. I don't think that's gonna work. And to my surprise, it was actually, not only was it, decent, it was pretty good. Like, it went directions I did not think it was gonna go. Even after seeing the trailer, I know like you got the whole sci-fi thing in the trailer, but still, I was like, are they gonna be able to stick that landing? And man, it did. It did. And I still think that's like a really underrated movie. That's one of the better ones that I've seen on Netflix, period.
Wow.
So
I need to watch it. Yeah, I remember you
That's a
telling
good
me
one, man. That's a good one.
I need to check it out because I a lot of times Netflix movies are something they ain't quite.
And just to stay here real quick. I think it's not a lot, but other movies on Netflix that were really good to me was remember May December. That one was fantastic.
Yes. Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Another last episode I mentioned Carol, Todd Haynes.
Is that Netflix?
No, but Todd Haynes, same director.
I see. Okay, yeah.
He's great.
Yeah. May
really
December. Good. May December was really good on Netflix, and then is there another Netflix movie? Oh, years ago there was a film called Come Sunday about about it was a biopic about Carlton Pearson, a preacher, back in the 90s. I want to say he was a Church of God in Christ Kojic preacher. That was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good one. I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah. That was a good one.
But other than those, no other Netflix movies are ringing a bell. But usually the reason I'm bringing Netflix up is because I expect those not to be very good. So the fact that they cloned Tyrone, except for May December, because I had heard that it was good and I knew about Todd Haynes. So and then of course, you got The Irishman, and then you got, Battle of the Buster Scruggs on Netflix. Of course they're going to be good because that's Scorsese and that's Coen Brothers. You know what I mean? So
yeah. That movie, what is it? Paddleton? The one, it's Mark Duplass and Ray Romano. It's really good. It's a Netflix movie. And I think it's Paddleton.
I didn't know Mark was still doing stuff, man.
A couple years ago, but I think they're still. I haven't really checked them out in a while, but that was really good. There are Netflix. There's ones that are good, but yeah, you're right. It is kind of, to me, the hallmark of, or what did you say? Is
B movies?
The B movies, yeah. It has a quality to it that. Just like any, Sony has a feel to their movies. All of Paramount, they all have kind of their standards of movie that they make, or their voice. It's weird how we have all these filmmakers with all these different voices, but then like any production studio, like our production company, we have a voice we're trying to aim towards a little bit. A little bit. We do different types of things, but in the back of our mind, is like, if we're doing a Place Pictures project, we do have certain things we like or certain standards, and so it makes sense, But that's interesting. That whole thing of like, you got the movie, but then you got who's making it, what company's making it. What standards do they have, and what, A24, there's like an A24 kind of feel.
Yeah.
All of their movies have. And so it's why production companies do matter with what they make. And that's kind of fun too. You can be like, all these,
same time.
These are Miramax films. These are Universal films. These are
branding. It's a branding, man.
Yeah. I can't think of an example.
Can't think of another movie that you thought was going to be really, really bad, but ended up being really good, huh?
No. And I know there was one that recently I was like watched on a whim, and I was like, oh, I like that more. I will say this as a broader example would be, there is a lot of movies that they come out and you don't see them in theater and you forget that they came out, and then you see them on streaming and you're like, yeah, I never gave that a chance, but for whatever reason, you're in the right mood to watch it. And you recognize that they are better, and there was a lot of effort put into them. Like, and a lot of it's like movies that look like they're going to be B movies and low effort, and like, just random or it's like a fantasy or a sci-fi movie, and then you're like, wow, this is actually really good.
No, right?
There's a movie I think called Lockdown with Guy Pearce, and it's a sci-fi. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I remember that when that came out like a few years ago.
That was a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, like was it back. Like 2012, 2013?
Maybe
before that?
Maybe, I forget, but like because Maggie Grace is in it from Lost.
Oh yeah.
She's like I don't want to spoil it, but that was like a one that I was like, let me just, what is this? Because the concept was cool. I think it was like, it's like it's a sci-fi, and this guy has to go into this. I think it was like a prison ship and rescue somebody, and but it looked, from everything I saw of it, was like, this looks not good, but it was really good. It was really, I mean, it was what it was. But it was fun, you know. It was fun. It was well directed. That's another thing too. There's like movies that are like bad concepts or just like generic concepts that are directed really well, you know, or the budget just isn't there for like this. It's not like going to be Blade Runner 2049 level of quality, but within what they do, it is quality. It is directed well. And so that's where you can kind of see what a director can bring to the table in a not obvious way. It's like, hey, those shots were well put together. That sequence was well done. These interactions with the characters are directed well. Those are, it's fun.
Yeah, because you start having that stuff like you guys, it's weird. You have these movies that are in this weird bad but good kind of thing. You know, that's who. Well, for one, that's what Starship Troopers is to certain people. Yeah. Because, and I didn't realize that at first. I always thought, because Starship Troopers was always fun to me. Like I loved it when we first. I think we saw it at the theater actually when it first came out. Because my brother was a Paul Verhoeven fan, so we would go see his movies, and that was not Paul Verhoeven. I'm sorry, I always mix him up with I can't think of his name. I'm sorry, I cannot think of his name. He's the same guy that did Existence, and you guys are gonna be mad at me for screwing this up. But
wait, that's David Cronenberg is Existence, isn't it?
Okay, so I am right then. Paul Verhoeven. I am right. Who did History of Violence? Is that Verhoeven?
Cronenberg. Yeah.
Cronenberg. Okay. Those are the two I always get mixed up for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why, but I give him Verhoeven. That's right, because Verhoeven did Hollow Man. Because
Kevin Bacon.
Verhoeven, because I think I get them mixed up, is because some Cronenberg and Verhoeven they sort of do like body horror stuff. Sometimes, you know what I mean? And Verhoeven's movies, Flesh and Blood. That's right. Because see, that wasn't Cronenberg. I want to say that was Verhoeven. And Flesh and Blood had Rutger Hauer in it. And it was kind of brutal, if I'm not mistaken.
Never heard of it.
So actually, you know what? I'm sorry.
And I still haven't seen Starship Troopers. I'll try.
Well, anyway, I'll finish what I'm saying. I'll correct myself later, guys. If y'all are watching and y'all are upset with me, but yeah, Starship Troopers. When I saw that, he was a Verhoeven fan. If Verhoeven did it, and so we went and saw that at the theaters. But it wasn't until later that people were like, "God, that movie is cheesy." I'm like, "Really?"
Oh,
yeah. Like, yeah, it's cheesy. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess it is sort of cheesy, but to me, I'm like, that was on purpose. Right?
Yeah, it's meant to be a satire.
It was like satirical, and it has one of the greatest lines to me. Are you trying to be a hero, boy? No, I'm just trying to kill some bugs. Brilliant cinematic dialogue. But yeah, so you got movies like that, and I realized that's the one thing about that one guy, Kurt Wimmer. You know what that is, right?
Mm-mm.
So he did. I don't know if you've done any films recently, but the one that was bad that he did was I think it was the film Okay, I'm getting confused. Well, the movie that he did that was bad and good though was Equilibrium. With have you seen that
I haven't seen it.
with Christian
Bale.
Bale
Yeah.
and Tay Diggs? It's so bad, but it's so good though. It's great, man. It's great. Like where they have like a whole fighting style centered around guns. And like it's great. But after that, that guy did another movie. I want to say with Mila Jovovich. Jovovich. Sorry, I'm terrible with names today. Where they kind of go into more of that style of fighting with guns. I forget what that one was called.
Ultraviolet.
Yeah, there we go. Ultraviolet. Yeah, see, that's Kurt Wimmer too, if I'm not mistaken. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think he did the adaptation to Aeon Flux.
Oh wow! Yeah, I haven't seen any of these.
Yeah. I think he did that. But he's like one of those guys that's like he has a reputation of a bad.
Did he do Ghost in the Shell?
No, that wasn't him. Oh my goodness!
I haven't seen that either, but it feels like the same kind of film, like the type of filmmaker.
Yeah, I don't think that was Kurt Wimmer, but he gets that reputation as his films are bad but good, but bad but good. But he does things that you can tell he does his things like because that was the thing that was cool about Equilibrium, like that they had this fighting style with just guns. Like he didn't really see that, and it was done well. Like it wasn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't done like poorly. Like you could tell they planned it out. You know, they planned out those action scenes. They worked them out. They did these really intricate things. It's just that the premise of Equilibrium, you know what it's about? It's the future and emotions are illegal.
Oh.
Like feeling things is illegal. And so Christian Bale works for a government organization that goes out and arrests people for feeling things. And so that's the thing about it. That, because it's like it's borderline like super cheesy, and then Tay Diggs is in it doing an action scene. You know who Tay Diggs is? Yeah, doing an action scene. So it's like go figure, you know. But it's great though.
Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh yeah. That's right. Well, wait, you're saying that was good?
No, Tay Diggs.
Oh, no.
Right? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Who is it then, man? I can't have this. I can't have this out. You got to cut this out. Edit this part out, man.
I think you edited this.
No. Wait a second.
It's okay to cut it out.
Who is it then? Who is that? I thought that was Tay Diggs.
No, which person in Fast and Furious are you talking about?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
The bald-headed dude?
Yeah. The two it's Paul. It's two people in that movie. Paul Walker.
Because that's a sequel. It doesn't say one? No, that's no. I can see you get the names mixed up. I can tell you his name is.
Who is it?
Tyrese
Gibson.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tay Diggs. Yeah, I guess I have it's just the names that I have mixed up.
I can't have this.
I can't have this.
God, no, wait. Yeah, I can't have this. Who is it? I
can't have this out on the internet.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no. Thankfully, you should be able to edit it easy because you.
I'm not gonna edit it.
Yeah, are you not?
It's staying in.
Okay.
It's going on my permanent record.
Okay. But yeah, so Tay Diggs does an action scene in Equilibrium, and
yeah,
it's weird.
Oh, what do you mean?
It's just he does a good job. It's just you're not used to seeing it, so you don't know who Tay Diggs is, right? I don't think you may not know who he is. He doesn't do a bunch of he has a very like bland.
Oh yeah.
Look.
Okay, yes.
But Paul Verhoeven is the one that did Starship Troopers, and he also did RoboCop, and he did Total Recall too. But if you've seen those RoboCop and Total Recall, you know that he does all this like body horror type stuff.
Oh,
so which is why it's fitting for him to do Starship Troopers, because I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a part where this guy gets shot, but they like show it go through his head. When you see that, you're like, yeah, that's Verhoeven. He likes to do that.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one either. I don't think. Yeah, I haven't seen any of his.
Yeah. Well, I guess we couldn't think of too many bad movies that ended up being good, but we could definitely talk about good movies that ended up
being bad.
Well, that happens a lot. Yeah, good one. The ones you think that are great and they end up terrible. I mean, everybody has a. But anyway, so today we are going to focus in on a director, and which is something we plan to do on future podcasts. And today, specifically the director we want to focus in on is Dylan's nemesis, Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah. I actually have to go.
Yeah,
I forgot. I had this thing.
Yeah.
Scheduled for a while.
Well, I could sit here by myself and talk about Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can.
Yeah. I mean,
that'll be all right.
He's good. I don't know what's your problem. He's good.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Look, he's a filmmaker who a lot of people think he is one of the best, and he's one of those filmmakers that he's good on paper, but when you see the film, I like Nolan.
So let's start off by talking about the weaknesses in Nolan and what he doesn't do as well, and hopefully we can each give just examples of films.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I'm fairly confident in this part.
Okay, I'm waiting. Go, shoot off, man. Go. What do you got?
What Nolan is not good at? And I've said this in other episodes. I feel like we've talked a lot about Nolan and what my issues with Nolan is.
So today we're honing in.
We're honing in though, and I'm gonna really figure out what it is that. Because I like Nolan. If a Nolan film comes out, I'm in the theater usually watching it. So I wouldn't say I don't like Nolan. I do a lot. I think he does have shortcomings that do get on my nerves a lot, I think. And I'm always kind of disappointed when it's in there. One would be the show don't tell, which is the rule that filmmakers have made, is you show, don't tell what the action's going to be, or don't tell the plot. Show what it is, what's happening. It feels like, or what's the other word there? What's the other word for that? Where you over-explain.
Exhibition?
Not no. But it's something like, well, anyway. So he does that a lot. A lot of his films will be like, there will be action sequences happening, and then there'll be the dialogue from another scene that's going on playing over it. Like, well, that's the thing. We have to go over here because this is this. And even in the scene, the characters will be explaining the plot, and like a lot of dialogue is that. That's a lot of his dialogue is explaining plot, and it is something that is taught that's a no-no. But for some reason, no one. Well, people have called it out actually about him But he gets away with it. And I do have a problem with it because I don't mind that so much in a lot of movies, but he really lays it on thick with that of like, okay, well, we've got to get over here because if we get over here, then this will happen. But don't forget that that's back in time. So we're going forward in time. We're going to reverse that. But here's the thing. She was born before then. So now we have to go. And so there's a lot of that happening. And if I get distracted by that and I get caught up in the little bits of it and then I lose focus of what's actually happening. So to me, it's distracting and it deters me from the what's good about his movies. And that's why I think Dunkirk is his best film easily because there's not a lot of that going on. It's sparse dialogue. When there is dialogue, it's done well. And it's all action. And so it's more show, don't tell. Tenet, I'd say, is his worst of that because that whole movie, it's those guys talking about what's going on and none of it still makes any sense. And so if they left me with just watching it and figuring it out on my own, I think I would have liked it much better. Let me figure out what's happening because they're explaining it and it's making it harder to understand. And which is weird because it's like he's explaining what's happening. Exposition,
that's right.
So exposition is happening.
I said exhibition.
Exhibition. And so I get tripped up pretty easily in all that. I don't think, and my theory, and could be way wrong, and it could be wrong. My theory is it's like a cheap trick. It's like, I'm going to over-explain what's going on and say, so it'll seem deep and seem complex. And it is complex. So maybe it isn't a cheat. It is complex. It's not that he didn't think about what's going on, but it's almost like I'm fooling the audience to make them overthink. And then this will seem like it's super complex and deep. And that's what will make me seem like a really good filmmaker. Now, I think that is, he's not aware of what he's doing, but I catch on to it and I'm like, it's almost gimmicky what he's doing. And he's a good filmmaker. That's the thing. I mean, his sequences are well put together. There's so much going on that he does well that I get bummed out when that happens because I'm like, you're better than this. You don't have to do this. Like, I feel like that's like a crutch for him. Is like, well, I'll this dialogue will beef it up in some way, but it's like, no, but what you did with Dunkirk is like perfection. That's what you're strong. You're strong at those images. He does images so well. Like he has some of the most memorable images in film, I think. There's some really good characters and image and big concept too. Like he likes dealing with big concepts. Those are what he's great at. So anytime he does that's my main beef with him is that thing.
So before I say my weakness, I was respond to that. Or before I say what I think his weakness is, I'll respond to that. I mean,
I had one more weakness, but
okay.
After
I'll respond to that. Then you do your weakness.
Yeah.
I think it's the opposite. I think he doesn't tell. I don't think he tells. And I think in the case of Tenet, he did, but it still wasn't enough. Like, and I think the only reason he did that so much in Tenet is because of the nature of how complex of a thing he was dealing with. You know, the concept of time travel, or should I say time, not time travel, time. I can't think of the word now.
Interpolation. What? Isn't that
No, it's something else. It's time
reverse or
they say it in the movie. I can't remember, but yeah, but that I think that's why the times he did it more in that film because he was just working with such a complex idea, which literally he had to draw out. You know what I mean? And then literally even in the film they draw out the things. He has his graph and everything because that's a like super complex thing to do. So, but in his other films, it's the opposite. He really doesn't tell that much. And which is why sometimes I've noticed in some of his films that you don't know what's going on. It feels like you don't know what's going on at first. Because like, well, what's happening? Because he's not telling it. He's just moving on visually, and he has such a pace that he works at, and such a movement when it comes to certain plot things. It's like, well, I mean, did you tell us anything there? And then for me, when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh, okay, you didn't like. I remember, for instance, in Dark Knight, I thought I didn't think certain. I didn't get certain aspects of it. I was like, okay, what's happening here? Like plot wise, I'm like, well, why did he go to? I think he went to China. I'm going, why did he go to China and kidnap that guy in midair? And why I didn't get that, but they do say it, but it's just very, very, very quick. They just brush over it real quick, and it's dependent on the images that he's showing you. That where you really get, oh, he went there to arrest that guy because blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. So I think for Tenet, he definitely had to tweak into that more because of the complex nature of it. But I really don't think he does it that much, which is why, like you said, I agree. Which is why Dunkirk is so good because that's all it is. It's just imagery, emotion, shots, and all of that stuff. But go ahead. What's the other weakness you said?
Well, you know what? This is okay. So I'm thinking about this more, and I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong about that. I do think there is like. Because Tenet, they are the whole time talking about, and I know they have to, but okay, so maybe it's the way my brain works.
Time inversion, that's what it is.
Inversion.
That's what it is. Yeah, time inversion, yeah.
What the heck is that? Oh, yeah, time inversion.
Let's make a movie about that.
My processor speed is slow, meaning like it's going to take me a while to understand what's happening. And he's fast and he's going fast and there's like a lot going on. So I'm so lost in the whole thing that I really would have to pause it and then rewind and then watch and then, slow, like, so that's why I like slow burns and these because I can understand them like more. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I can't, when there's so much information being thrown at me all at once, really quick, I just have a slow processor. I can't keep up with that stuff. Now, so part of it is me, but part of it is also, I do think he over-explains stuff. Maybe not in a direct sense. Maybe that's it. But it's like a lot of words being thrown at you.
A lot of information.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel so important. So I mean, it's like, okay, you're gonna crowd the dialogue for what reason? That's why it's a gimmick to me. It's like. We're just having dialogue for no reason at all. It's just to fill up space. Like, give me some moments where there's no dialogue and like let it be a little bit of a slow burner thing. Even if it's a fast-paced action movie, it's like, why is it filled with dialogue that doesn't really explain anything? It just makes it more confusing that's where I think there might be a little gimmick going on. Is like, it's like trying to sound overly complex to fool the audience into thinking, to make them have more questions. I don't know what it is.
Well, I would say the other weakness I think he has is fight scenes. I don't think he can do them well. Now, even though actually, in the fight scene in Inception is probably one of my favorite ever.
Yeah,
but
good.
I feel like that was the if we sat down and looked at all of his films and the fight scenes that were in them, it would be Inception and then it'll be in Tenet. But the rest of them, just none. Even Batman, to me, like those just weren't. They were okay. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they sucked at all. They were okay, but they just weren't. They just didn't eye pop. You know, it wasn't too much of it that was cool, and nothing about it was really exciting, other than just being, of course, caught up in the story and the plot of it all. But that was like it. And I would say that's if he were to do. In Odyssey, that's something I hope is a lot different, his upcoming film. Because I hope he goes back to the Inception and Tenet fighting stuff instead of the Batman fighting stuff he's doing this one. Because I think those should be a little more exciting. But that's my thing. That's the weakness I think he has.
You told me that recently, and then I didn't watch all of The Dark Knight, but I started it. And I did notice it which I never really picked up on, but I was like, yeah, these fight sequences aren't that good. They're not impactful. Because there's a lot of elements about that are interesting. It's like the characters are cool. But I was like, oh yeah, it's not hard hitting.
I think probably the best action scene with Batman in it ever, to me, period, is actually the one in Batman versus Superman. That's probably the best one as far as a Batman action scene. Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. We'll do a Snyder.
Oh yeah,
we've got a Snyder in us.
Yeah, we got to do that one.
That's
so strengths.
Yeah, strengths.
What are Mr. Nolan's strengths, or just one of them you'd like to expound on?
So strengths that Sorry, I'm stuck on that because the other weakness of his that might go into this is that
you're stuck on all the weaknesses.
I'm stuck on the weak. You know what? No, we'll move past. I've already had my say on the weaknesses. Strengths, imagery, concepts, scale. I think he does. All of the reason why I go to the theater to see his movies is because it's worth going to the theater to see his movies. Mm-hmm. The technical side of it, the imagery, that he brings to it, it's always worth it on the big screen. It's always something big. And not everybody can do that, but he can. He's very good at that. That's why I think he works well, like why so many people like him, why people do want to go see it in the theater is because of that. In fact, he had a problem when Tenet didn't, because I think that got released either simultaneously, because that was during the pandemic. And so I heard that he was upset because it didn't go to the theater in the way it should have. Because, he does scale really well. Mm-hmm. And he might be the best at scale these days.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I think I would say that is one of his strongest suits. I was going to say, you pretty much said the same thing I was going to say. I was just going to say it different. I was just going to say how, when you watch his films, every kind of aerial shot, you just feel like you feel it.
Yeah.
That, which is why that teaser to Odyssey is so good. Have you seen that teaser?
No, I forgot.
That's why it's so fun to watch, because that's him and doing his scale thing. Like it's you want me to tell you about it, or you want to watch it?
I want to see it.
Okay. Yeah, but but in Interstellar, showing that ship, and not only that, just when they're on that other planet, and when Matt Damon's character is trying to destroy their planet, just the way it moves and the way it feels when they're on there, you're like, golly. And then in Dunkirk, oh my God, when they're flying the planes.
Yeah.
And man, he's great at that. He's great at that kind of stuff. Even, what's interesting, that's what I liked about Inception. Because Inception had the scale, it has such a creative use of scale. And what I mean by that is that, like in Dunkirk, it's a physical plane. You know what I mean? So, and the physicality creates a certain level of scale, but of course, his unique framing and everything is what does it too. But in Inception, the scale is created by imagery more so instead of something that already exists. For example, when he's teaching her how to build those dream worlds and how the one just kind of raises up and collapses on the other. Yeah. So it's like, golly, it's stuff like that where you're like, man, that's effective, man. And that's like sort of this made up thing. And then also going back to that fight scene, which I love so much in that movie, the scale is what makes that fight seem so awesome, because you're in this hallway and it's like the whole hallway is a part of the fight scene. The whole hallway is a part of the fight. It's moving, these ways, and they're falling this way. And that's, man, that's a beast, man. That's what makes Christopher Nolan, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how he moves the camera with the world, or where, you know what I mean? Like that in Inception, that scene of him on the beach and how it feels and how it's like tilted with the water in the way that it got. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
When he wakes up on the beach, I think it's the very first.
It might be the opening shot. Yeah.
It's so cool. It's just so dynamic. And it gives it that sense of scale, of that feel of it. It's like, and he does that in all of his movies. He always has these shots that are that flow, that feel like it's moving, that this big moment. Even The Dark Knight has a lot of those in the opening, where it's like, all right away, it's like moving shots, on a dolly. They're either pushing in or pulling out.
Oh yeah. That's the first shot in Dark Knight. Yeah.
It's like movement happening.
Yeah, it's moving towards the Joker holding that mask. Yeah.
And his movies do that, where movement is a huge part. Everything's always moving forward. Mm-hmm. So the plot, but literally you're seeing movement throughout. And he strings those shots together and plot together to where it's always going. And so sometimes that's was my complaint, but there's another side of that to where that is the strength of it, is that it's always moving forward. And there's never a moment where you're like, oh man, here's a boring part. It's always
exactly.
Something's happening. And I mean, the whole movie of what's the Oppenheimer?
No.
It's a lot of like, it could be a boring movie, but that whole time, and a lot of it's a score, but it's the whole time you're like, dun, 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 and it's a 3-hour movie. And that was like one of my, like, maybe a complaint, but I also liked it. That's
Slow down, buddy. We got time. Slow down.
Yeah. But the whole time you're like, oh my gosh. Like, there's no,
never a dull moment.
But the cool thing that he does, and not a spoiler, it's a nuclear. He's creating a nuclear bomb. But when that happens, the scene happens and they show it, that's the moment of levity. Yeah. Which is cool. That whole time he's doing this thing where he's building up this moment, and when it comes, you feel it. Mm-hmm. And he almost does the reverse of what you would normally do. Like a filmmaker would, all the dialogue and stuff and like the court scenes would be boring, but then the explosion would be the thing that's like ramp up. But it's like he crafted it, and it's perfect though. It's so good. It's like, so he knows momentum. He knows, hey, memento.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He knows momentum. That's why he made Memento.
The Following, have you seen The Following?
Mm-mm.
That's his first film in black and white. I think he shot it for like $7,000, something like that. And it's good. And that's what it is, because there's sparse dialogue and it's all action. It's all movement. And that and you can kind of see where he's he's heading with his style. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's one of his best. It's cool.
What are we at?
111.
Oh, okay.
Well, So
Nolan, yeah, those are his strengths and those are his weaknesses. I think we both can agree, unforgettable filmmaker though. Definitely a beast right now in the industry. Somebody whose name is probably going to be sticking around for a while. So we are, we like your movies, Mr. Nolan.
Yeah.
We like your movies.
I don't hate Nolan.
Oh. Chelsea.
Okay.
All right. Like, subscribe, watch our films, and we will see you guys in the next video.
And actually, so this is our season finale.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're taking a little bit of time, but you'll be seeing some top 10 lists, top 5 lists, some smaller things. But the podcast, we're taking a little bit of a break to do some filmmaking of our own. And we'll be back. I don't know when, but we'll be a new season. And it'll be fun.
It will. And in the meantime, you guys got these other podcasts that you hadn't watched yet.
Yeah.
To watch. And everything like that. So
watch it. Comment, subscribe, tell us.
Exactly.
Write a review on Apple, iTunes, because we're on there.
Friendster. No.
MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
Mm-hmm. Create a group. A local. I
think that's finally shut down now, though. I think.
MySpace?
Yeah, I think. Completely, yeah.
What?
Well, anyway, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.